So what do you get if you cross the creature of the Black Lagoon with a crap ton of LSD? Well, we're going to find out next on Fat Guy on Film. Welcome back to Fat Guy on Film. I am your host, David Heumann, and this week we're going to talk about the movie The Shape of Water. This movie was directed by Guillermo del Toro. Ole. This movie was directed by Guillermo del Toro, the director of such classics as Hellboy, Hellboy 2, Pacific Rim, Crimson Peak, and others.
Wow.
This movie has been getting a lot of buzz, especially in the award world, where it's already won 2 Golden Globes, one for Best Original Score and one for Best Director. So this movie stars Sally Hawkins, Octavia Spencer, Michael Shannon, Richard Jenkins, and like I said earlier, is directed by Guillermo del Toro. This movie centers around Sally Hawkins' character, who is mute.
She deaf?
Mute, sir. She can hear you.
This movie centers around her, and she has this kind of thing for water. And she works for this government facility as a maid or a janitor, one of the cleaning crew.
Eliza, come on.
One day they bring in this box, this container that has something suspicious in it, and Sally Hawkins' character is immediately drawn to it. Inside this container is a creature that's been captured in the Amazon. And this thing is an amphibian human, hence the creature from the Black Lagoon. And thus starts the adventure of her trying to help this creature out and falling in love and trying to help this creature escape from the evil Michael Shannon, who, is a pretty bad guy in this movie.
You may think that thing looks human. Stands on 2 legs, right? But we're created in the Lord's image. You don't think that's what the Lord looks like, do you?
So, this movie, as I was watching this movie, I did not know how to feel. There's just a lot of things with this movie that just really kind of weirded me out. There was a lot of storylines in this movie that kind of went nowhere. This movie felt very, very fragmented in the overall narrative. There was just some story arcs of characters that kind of, they went and they just died. And as I was watching the movie, it was just kind of like, okay, well, what was the point of that? Why did they put that in there? And it's just certain parts of the movie, if they were to completely edit it out, you would never miss them. There are bunches of little things that I did not care for in this movie. The other main complaints that I have about this movie is that there's a lot of gratuitous nudity in this.
Au natural, baby. That's how I like them. Swing low, sweet chariots.
And I just think it's kind of completely unwarranted, and I think that it is kind of sloppy directing when you have to go to a shock value type thing like just graphic nudity. Don't get me wrong, I love the female form as much as any other straight male, but I really felt like it was in your face and just not needed for the overall story. Again, if you were to edit all of that out, you'd still have the same exact movie. And I don't know, there was just a lot of really sloppy editing and directorial decisions throughout this movie that just didn't serve the overall story, and just the movie, frankly, could do without it. To a degree, it felt as if they had Mr. Del Toro's 14-year-old nephew edit the movie. There were some things about this movie that I really did enjoy. Mr. Del Toro really does a great job with his visuals. Everything is very beautiful, and he uses a very nice color palette. This movie takes place in the 1960s, I think 1963. And he uses a color palette that's very similar to what you would see in the Kodachrome films, or Kodachrome images of the 1960s. And I really did like that. The sets were absolutely incredible. Soundtrack is really, really cool. Beautiful. songs from that period and lots of French songs and stuff like that. It really suits itself to this movie. Overall, the movie just, to me, because of the fragmented nature of the edits, some of the gratuitous nature of things, some of the dialogue, it kind of felt like a weird fever dream. And I don't know. I don't like movies like that. So at the end of the day, do I recommend the movie? I guess if you want to go see it, go see it. It is a little bit entertaining, and some of the visuals are really, really remarkable. And Doug Jones' portrayal of the amphibian is great. And it's acted very, very well. I just didn't really care for this movie. So there you have it, Shape of Water. Tune into our next episode where we talk about the movie Den of Thieves, starring Gerard Butler. This has been Fat Guy on Film, and I am your host, David Heumann, saying, stay hungry. Bye, everybody.